Hello, welcome to Start Bright English. Today we will start with the very first unit of English vocabulary in use. The topic is learning vocabulary. As you can see here, there are 4 different subtopics in total, A, B, C, D. So we will start with the very first part, A, how to use the book. When you use this book, it's a good idea to have a routine. So what if have a routine? So when you have a routine, you do the same thing regularly. It is suggested here a weekly routine and a daily routine. A weekly routine is your plan to do the different tasks on a specific day of a week. For example, you will study one lesson per day from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, Sunday, you will revise them and a daily routine. So you might also need a daily routine to revise the unit, and you might need at least 5 to 10 minutes each day. So this time, we're gonna explore the vocabulary that are highlighted here. Routine. Routine is something you do often in the same way, something you do regularly. We normally use as a noun form, have a routine, I have a routine. And singular form routine, plural form routines. Let's check the pronunciation. Routine, 2 sound, 2 syllables. We put the stress on the second one, routine. You can look at the more example sentences here. Daily routine, weekly routine. My daily routine includes waking up early to meditate and exercise. Weekly routine. Her weekly routine includes attending yoga classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now pause the video and answer these questions. What is your daily routine? What is your weekly routine? Revise. When you revise something, you study it again. So as a verb for revise and noun for revision. The pronunciation. We have 2 sound, 2 syllables. Revise. We put the stress on the second and be careful it ends with Z sound, revise. Now we know how to use the verb revise, so how about the noun for revision? Do or make revision. When you do revision, you revise it, you study it again. We use it in the academic context. Example, I need to do some revisions for my exam. So what about make revision? When you make revision, you make changes or improvement to something. Example, the editor will make revisions to the article to improve its clarity. At least, you need to study a new unit for at least 30 to 45 minutes. The meaning is not less than. So equal to more than, right? So the minimum amount is 30 to 45 minutes, but you can study more than that. As a verb form is an idiom, and then we need to put the stress on the least. We do not normally put the stress on the preposition. That's why you need to put stress on the word least. In the part B, it mentions the things that you need to do when you learn a unit. The very first thing is you need to be active and pay full attention. And then with a new word or a phrase, you have to say it aloud, and sometimes you need to repeat it to yourself silently. You can also play the audio files that come along with the ebook, and you can use a highlighter pen for the important and difficult words. Now it's time to check the meaning, word form, and pronunciation of the highlighted words. So it is suggested that to write down new words and phrases in your notebook, but for you, you don't have to worry about it. The Start Bright English will provide you the flashcard, and then you can revise it easily. And then, like for the second tip, to create the exam sentence of your own. For that one, you can also do the quiz on the Google file, and you also need to create your own exam sentence. And then the last part, if you are using a physical book, you can do the exercise in pencil so that you can write them out if you want to do it again. But for you, we will provide the Google file and then you can do the quiz again and again as many times as you want. Active. The meaning is that attentive of involved in a particular activity. So when you are active, you are paying full attention to it. As a word found here, added, so you need to use it with the verb to be. The pronunciation, active. So be careful with the K sound here, and then you have to put the stress on the first one. Active, active. Now let's look at how can we use active in different situations. He is 90 years old but remains active in the local community. Stay active. The goal of our organization is to make sure that people stay active. Keep active. You have to try to keep active as you grow older. And you can also mention someone is physically or mentally active. When you say it aloud, you speak it so you can hear it. So it's a phrase, and then for the pronunciation, you have to put the stress on say and aloud on the loud, right? So say it aloud. Repeat silently. When you repeat say something, you say it again, right? But here, repeat silently. You say it again, but in your mind without making any sound. Repeat as above, silently as an adverb. Most of the words that end with ly are adverb, right? So let's look at the pronunciation. Repeat. So you need to put the stress on the second. Repeat, peed, and silently, three syllable. On the first one side, repeat silently. Sometimes it is better to memorize the word with the picture. So you can see here highlighter and then rubber. So highlighter, you have to put the strap on the first high. Highlighter pen, and then rubber, rubber. Rub out, it means clear something written in pencil with an eraser. As a phrasal verb here, rub off out preposition. So let's check the pronunciation this time. Rub and out, and then we link the sound rub out. So when it comes to the phrasal verb, there are two things that you need to be careful with. The first thing is that the linking sound. The linking sound can be changed if you use them in the past tense. She rubbed out, rubbed, and instead of rub out, so the linking sound change with the D, rubbed out. So rubbed is not the rubbed, it's just the rubbed with the D sound. So you might notice in the word stop, stopped, not stopped, it's just the stopped with the D sound in the past tense. The second thing is that you need to be careful with the pronoun. In the last example, do exercises in pencil, then you can rub them out. So instead of using exercises again, we use the pronoun them, them. So we need to put the pronoun between the verb and preposition, rub them out. But in the first example, rubbed out the mistake. Mistake is not a pronoun, so you don't have to put between the verb and preposition. Just rubbed out the mistake. But if it is the pronoun, rub them out. In the Parsi, it highlights the importance of revision. So when you revise a lesson, it is also important to be active. You have to pay full attention. And then the second one is that to test yourself. So for that one, you can do it with the flashcard app. First, you look at the meaning and guess the word, and the next time you look at the word and guess the meaning, and then vice versa. And then if you can't recall it, you can check it easily on the flashcard, and then you can test again. In part D, it suggests the different techniques that you can use to increase your vocabulary. The first one is when you learn a word, instead of studying that only one specific word, you can find the synonyms and antonyms. in your language. The word that have the similar meaning, the word that have the opposite meaning. And then when you look at a word, it is better to use both dictionary, not only the bilingual dictionary but also the English dictionary, to check the meaning and also the word file and other word families. It is given an example here. The opposite of the, like when you land a word dirty, to trying to find the opposite, which is clean. So when you look it at in the dictionary, you might also find filthy. That means very dirty. That is that filthy is a synonym and the clean is the antonym here. So this time, let's learn the highlighted one in the previous slide. So expand. Expand means when you expand something, you make it bigger. For expand your vocabulary means you make your vocabulary list longer and bigger. So as above, and then we have two syllable expand. So you need to put the stress on the second one. Whenever you see ex, it pronounced with x, right? Expand. In order to expand your vocabulary, you need to learn synonym and antonym. So what is synonym? Synonym is a word that have the same or nearly same meaning as a noun here. And then we have three syllables here, synonym. And then you need to put the stress on the first one. And then it's gonna be with the it sound, right? Synonym, synonym. Antonym, the opposite one, the word that have the opposite meaning. So here, antonym as a noun form. And then pronunciation, we have three syllables and we have put the stress on the first one. Antonym, antonym. Filthy, filthy means very dirty as an extreme adjective. So we have two syllables and then we will put the stress on the first one. Filthy. Now it's time to revise the words that we have learned with the flashcard. In Quizlet, you can revise all the words that you have learned, active, synonyms, antonyms, routine, like this. On one side of the card, you can see the word, the 10, and then on the other side of the card, you can see the meaning and the definition. You can also change the setting whether you want to see the word first or the meaning first. Here, 10 and definition, right? 10 mean the word. So if you want to see the word on the first side of the card, you can click on the 10. Or if you want to see the meaning first, you can click on the definition first. So here I want to suggest that like to do the two rounds. For the first round, look at the word and guess the meaning. And in the second round, look at the definition and guess the word. In this way, you can revise twice. And then as the last step, after revising with the flashcard, you can do the quiz on the Google form. In Google File, you can do the quiz. There are 5 parts in total. In the part 1, you need to find the antonym. In the last part, in the part D, they suggest the different techniques and way to expand your vocabulary. And one of the way is that to find the antonym and synonym, right? So in order to apply the technique, the first exercise is you need to find the antonyms. And the second exercise is you need to find the word family. It also another way to expand your vocabulary. You might need to find the noun or adjective or buff that kind of word form for each specific word. So for exercise 1 and 2, you might need to use the dictionary. And for exercise 1 and 2, they are the exercise that come along with the book. And then the Starbright English will also provide the extra exercise for you. In the part 3, you have to complete the sentences using the vocabulary that you learned. And then by using the words, you have to create your own sentences in the part 4. And the last part, you have to write a short paragraph about your study plan, of course, by using the word that you have learned. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.